Two parents have been charged with holding their 13 children captive in a home. The news sending shockwaves through the neighborhood.
It's actually heartbreaking for the staff, and it's unbelievable what you see.
The police officer was talking to her, and she just kept like smirking at him.
Crazy, you never know who your neighbors are.
That's just some of what people have been saying in the California community of Perris, east of Los Angeles. Neighbors there lined the block after police rescued the children from the home. And that home is exactly where we find our Steve Futterman this morning in Perris, California, as I mentioned, just east of Los Angeles, about 100 kilometers. Steve, tell us the latest on the investigation into what happened allegedly in that home behind you.
Well, Heather, the two parents remain in custody. 57-year-old David Turpin and his 49-year-old wife, Louise Turpin. They are in custody. They are being held on suspicion of child endangerment and torture. We expect them to be formally charged later today, each being held on $9 million bail, which is an extremely high bail. This all unfurled on Sunday when one of the 13 children, a 17-year-old girl, escaped from the home, contacted police via a cell phone. They came, they saw the other children inside, 12 other children, many of them shackled to a bed held by chains or padlocks. And police found them malnourished. They found the conditions here quite filthy. When they got here, the children all said they were starving. Police had to give them food and water. They arrested the parents. Obviously, lots of questions remain. How long had this been going on? The family moved here several years ago from Texas. Had this been going on for some time? There could be a religious connection. The children apparently were being homeschooled, but a lot of that will be revealed today. Authorities have scheduled a news conference at 1 o'clock Eastern time. We may have more details, but the key thing is the children are safe right now. Some of them are in hospitals, 2 separate hospitals right now, but there is no, as far as we know, no indication that any of their lives are in danger right now.
And yet, Steve, as you say, those are grotesque details, and they have
yes.
people everywhere reeling. We may learn more, as you suggest, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but what we've learned so far about the family seems to be coming largely from the neighbors. What else are they saying about this particular family?
Well, people say they felt something unusual was taking place, but they never expected anything like this. We talked to a number of neighbors last night after the announcement was made about the arrest. This woman, Kimberly Milligan, talked about the fact that this family seemed very clannish, very didn't connect with other members of the community.
They were the type that you didn't really get to know anything about them. They were very to themselves, in a sense, clannish. So they only kept to themselves. So, and the only time you would see them, you would never see anyone visit. You would never see anyone come outside. All you would really see is that they'd go out, maybe make a grocery run, and that was about it.
And Heather, one other thing that we heard from neighbors, first of all, they said the children were very pale, like they had never been outside or rarely were outside. And also, even though the children range age from 2 to 29, people here were shocked to find out that there were children that old. Many of the children much younger. In fact, the 17-year-old girl who was the one who escaped, when police saw her, they originally thought she was only 10 years old. This obviously the result of malnourishment, Heather.
Steve Futterman, what a horrific story. Thank you for bringing it to us. There he is outside the home in Perris, California this morning.